So this afternoon I'm going to build a compost pile for myself, and I wanted to share with you how I do that. So this is a compost bin that I built early this morning, and it is 4 by 4 and a little over 3 feet tall. And as you see, I have turned the soil. Years ago I used to dig about a foot to a half a foot down and insert my bin in the hole, which would be a square hole, and I would build my pile from there. But these days I just turn the soil and start from there. The first thing I do is I build up a layer of sticks and twigs. That's about anywhere from, it could be anywhere from 3 inches to 6 inches thick. I've got some of that material here that I'm going to start building my twig bed with. This is great because it helps the bottom aerate and it invites the worms up into the pile. So I'm going to just continue building it up. It doesn't have to be compacted down too much, just a nice layer of sticks and stuff. From wall to wall, corner to corner. It's going to take some time, so let me get at it. Alright, I got a nice bed of twigs and sticks built up. Before I add another layer, I am going to water this down. Get it nice and wet. Alright, so I've got my twig bed nice and wet. Now I'm going to add a layer of carbon-based material, which is leaves. When you're composting, a good compost pile is all about a ratio between carbon and nitrogen. Carbon is mostly leaves, from trees and stuff. Nitrogen would be manure and grass and other things that grow in the field. So we're going to do about a 5-6 inch layer of that kind of material. And then I will water that layer as well. So I've got my carbon layer nice and wet. Now I'm going to add just a thin bit of coarse sand, just a little bit on top of that. Just a bit. I'll put just another shovel in there. Kind of spread it around. Just one more shovel. Get it kind of spread around in there. And that's good. Now I'm gonna, I missed a spot. Now I'm gonna add my nitrogen. After I want to water this, I water every new layer. This is my nitrogen source. It does have a lot of wood chips in it and then straw. This is the bedding out of a mule stable, and it's already smoking hot. It's manure, a lot of manure in here. See if I can find a nice chunk somewhere. Woo, smoking hot. There's a little bit right there. Just steaming hot. I don't have a good source of nitrogen in my backyard. Most of my stuff that I'm putting in my pile is from the yard. Leaves and twigs and whatnot. So I go and I get this manure from a local stable for free. And this is all soaked with urine, so it smells. This stuff, this manure doesn't smell too bad on its own. It just smells kind of earthy, a bit like manure, really. But what really smells is the urine that's in here. So when I add this, I don't add it all the way to the edge of the pile because I don't want it stinking up my backyard. I don't want to annoy my neighbors. I live in an urban neighborhood. And I will water this as well when I put it in. I'm going to put several layers of this in. I have a whole garbage can. This will balance my pile out with nitrogen, and it will act as a catalyst to heat up the pile and kick the process in gear. In a couple months or more, hopefully by the end of September I'll have good compost. I hope. We'll see. So I'm going to do about 6 inches of this, but I'm going to keep it away from the edges so it's not exposed. I want it inside the pile. I do the same thing with kitchen refuse, like stuff from my kitchen. I always put that right inside the pile. I don't put it on top of the pile. I don't have it to the side. I want it inside the pile. After I've got this layer of nitrogen good and soaked, I'm going to add another 6 inches or so of carbon material. And that I will go from side to side to the back and inside these slats best I can. Here soon I will put on the front panel and start doing it over the top. What are you doing, Dixie? Alright, I have my manure totally covered by a good layer of carbon, and I'm going to get it wet. My dog thinks what I'm doing is very interesting. Alright, so that's good and wet. Now I'm going to do the same thing as before. Before I add anything else, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this coarse sand around. Not too much, just a little bit. When this compost is done, having a bit of coarse sand in it will help with drainage for my plants, because I will use this in containers as a growing medium. Now for nitrogen. I hope now you can see a pattern emerging. I will continue these layers of carbon and nitrogen with a little bit of sand, and I have some topsoil. It's good to add a little topsoil to the compost. Some of the carbon material I have has topsoil mixed into it. I will keep doing that till I get up to the top. But as I go up top, I start to add less manure. I like to have the manure thicker on the bottom. So I'm going to put the front panel on now and just start loading this up, and I'll show you when I'm done what I have. Hopefully I have enough material to get all the way to the top. Alright, I have all my material in there. I didn't quite make it to the top, but I got close. On the top I have a bunch of green stuff that I'm going to leave here. Hopefully it'll be dried out by a week's time, because I am going to turn this in about a week or more, and I will probably turn it once a week, maybe twice. Depends on how I feel. So I think I'll be adding a little more, and I'll get it right to the top. It will fall a bit, but it's almost done. I don't need to add a lot more, just a bit. I feel like I need more nitrogen, maybe some more manure, but we'll see. In the next few days it'll start to heat up, and I'll know then if I need to add manure. I'll put a thermometer on it. So I'm going to water it, this top layer, and then I probably won't water this again until fall. This is New Orleans, it's hot, and we get a bit of rain, sometimes a lot of rain, so I probably won't have to water this again, maybe, but I don't think I will. And I think by fall, by the beginning of fall, because this is August 1st, I will have compost. I hope. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please subscribe. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.